This criminal case involves one of the most famous boxing champions who committed the greatest crime and betrayal. The promising future of a boxer turned into infamy in history, from being a champion boxer to a ruthless killer. In 2012, at the London Summer Olympics boxing competition, the young Puerto Rican boxing star Felix Verdejo-Sanchez demonstrated his skills, earning the nickname Diamond. Predictions of a bright future with gold medals for the country's most talented athletes seemed certain. However, by 2021, the once promising athlete's name had shifted from inspiring hope to a criminal history. Born in San Juan, Puerto Rico in 1993, Felix grew up in a relatively average family. He initially intended to pursue baseball in his childhood, but discovered his passion for boxing during a childhood interaction. He excelled in youth boxing championships, winning national titles before competition in the London Olympics in 2012. Keishla Rodríguez, born in November 1993 in San Juan, dreamed of becoming a veterinarian. She was best friends with her sister Barbara and had a close relationship with Felix, who was also her age. These parents initiated a romantic relationship in 2011. At 18, Felix, already a promising boxer with Olympic aspirations, entered a relationship with another girl from his school, Elise Maria Santiago Sierra, who was just 14 at the time. Despite Elite's parents' approval, Felix's charismatic and talented persona, coupled with his rising boxing career, attracted widespread attention. On the other hand, Keishla knew about his engagement but still hoped to be his true love. In 2016, amidst his professional success, Felix survived a severe motorcycle accident. Despite initial concerns, he recovered quickly and returned to the ring. However, the narrative took a dark turn when a photo surfaced showing Alice pregnant, raising questions about Felix's involvement. She wrote that she would soon meet with the princess, and a month after the birth of their daughter, they named her Miranda Vargedo Santiago. Felix continued to see his girlfriend Keishla, whom he couldn't leave, as Eliza later confessed to suspecting her husband's infidelity. But each time she tearfully pleaded with him to end his affair, Keishla attempted to break off this painful relationship. But Felix wouldn't let her go. Despite being married, Felix threatened Keishla, saying she had no right to be with anyone else or he would kill her. Keishla integrated her life into caring for animals and found a job at a veterinary clinic, described by her beauty colleagues as diligent, responsible, and dedicated. Eliza knew her husband had multiple lovers, including Keishla. His threats of divorce and preventing Eliza from seeing their daughter embarrassed him, prompting him to kick her out of the house. Eliza wanted a divorce, but Felix fought hard to reconcile with his wife and daughter. In April 2021, Keishla discovered she was pregnant, confirming her fears with a quick test from the pharmacy. Initially, she contacted her sister, who was aware of her complicated relationship with Felix, and told her everything. Unable to terminate the pregnancy due to being under 27 and ready to become a mother. Even if she had to raise the child herself, a few days later, Keishla informed her daughter's father, hoping he would accept, but Felix was not gentle in his response. He became angry, threatening his mistress that she had no right to be pregnant with someone else's child, or else he would have his honor. He was angry. Felix yelled, demanding Keishla immediately rid herself of the child, but she firmly refused again. No, I can't abort my child. Felix then decided to hatch a plan. His old friend Luis Antonio Cadiz, who worked at a local car dealership and had connections to the underworld of illegal drug sales, briefly explained the situation to Felix and asked him to help his pregnant mistress. Keishla gets rid of her. The police and the possibility of imprisonment frightened him, but Felix was assured that everything would go smoothly and the police would never intervene. Additionally, Felix promised him a significant cash reward and Louis agreed to assist. Keishla told him she wanted to meet with him at dusk on April 29th to confirm her pregnancy and decide what to do immediately after speaking with her lover. Keishla contacted her sister, telling her everything she hoped Felix wouldn't accept, but worried that he had threatened her sister and shared her concerns with her mother. They couldn't dissuade Keishla from the fateful meeting with Felix. The next day, as Keishla was going to the doctor, Felix and Louis hid behind a van, picking her up. They got into a violent argument about aborting the fetus, turning into screams. Suddenly, Felix struck Keishla on the head with his fist, immediately losing consciousness. Felix and Louis got out of the car and Felix killed Keishla with a gun, throwing her into the river on the east side of the city. Keishla's colleagues were the first to become concerned when she didn't show up at the clinic. Medical and beauty center the next day. Keishla had always been very responsible and couldn't miss work without informing anyone. It was decided to contact her sister to find out what happened after several unsuccessful attempts. After contacting her sister, they went to their house. No one answered the door, but her sister had a spare key, so they entered without a problem. However, the only meat-hungry animals would have not eaten anything for almost 24 hours because they realized that something terrible or irreparable had happened to Keishla. She immediately contacted her mother and told her everything, then reported to the police about her suspicions and threats to her sister. She also contacted Felix, but he claimed he had spent the previous night at home with his wife and child. The first thing to do was to question neighbors and co-workers of the missing girl, but they didn't notice anything suspicious and couldn't provide useful information to the investigation. Messages about Keishla Rodríguez's disappearance spread on popular social networks and everyone was aware of the issue. Now that all fingers were pointing towards the famous boxer Felix Verdejo-Sanchez, journalists literally queued up to interview each member of the Rodríguez family. Relatives didn't hold back and talked about their suspicions, including holding Felix responsible for the April 30 incident when Keishla's car was found abandoned in the east of the city. Big hopes of finding him alive created in early May. A human body discovered in shallow water reported to the police. Who soon pulled out the body of a young woman who had likely been sought by the whole city after several days. Members of the Rodríguez family who had come to identify the body were hopeful until the end that it wasn't Keishla, but their hopes were dashed. The body had been in the water for several days and had undergone significant changes. But the daughter was immediately identified by a notable tattoo on her arm. Yes, it was Keishla Rodríguez. Felix was arrested the same day and taken to the police station for questioning, but the athlete vehemently denied his involvement, claiming he was at home with his family that night because there were no evidence against him. Felix was released at his own discretion. One of the key witnesses was the legal wife of the athlete who confessed during the first integration that she was aware of his relationship with Keishla but had only heard about her rival's pregnancy for the first time. Moreover, she didn't confirm her husband's alibi, saying he wasn't home that night. After reviewing the cameras, the van was spotted and Lewis was quickly found and arrested. Lewis confessed to everything in exchange for a reduced sentence, and Felix Verdejo-Sanchez was detained due to the spread of the coronavirus. The trial here was spotted, and the Keishla's family awaited justice for the daughter killer, even if Felix's wife Eliza didn't care. She just wanted to separate from Felix. Finally, in the spring of 2021, the trial was held, and after several sessions, he was sentenced to death based on evidence and documents. But Keishla's family requested a life sentence, and Felix ended up behind bars for the rest of his life. The case was closed.
If you're into crime stories and documentaries, subscribe to our channel because we'll be posting loads of videos every day.